applicants. Today, my presentation will only be based on the applicants who are already in the UK with some sort of category. That is why I have written that this presentation will mainly focus on switching on this visa. So I do not confuse you. If I deal with both sort of category in the same presentation, then you may get confused. So I have chosen only to deal with switching. Who can switch to this category? Graduate route migrants. Again, this one is popularly known as PSW. PSW is actually post-study work. Currently, the Home Office rule does not say any visa, namely PSW. The visa is officially known as graduate route. Some people are already in the UK with work permit or skilled worker, or also known as tier 2. Those people, if they let's say some people are here who got whose company's license got revoked, so they are looking to stay in this route but want to have another course from a different company. They can also switch to this category. They can also create their own company and get the license and then get the visa through that company. So the skilled worker migrants, they can also switch. And most dependent visa holders, likewise student dependents, skilled worker dependents, graduate route dependents, all those dependents, visa holders can also switch to this category. Then spouse visa holders. Who are the spouse visa? There are two types of thing. One is graduate route, one is dependent category, other one is spouse. Dependent are those people who are the family member or the partner of any point-based system visa holder, like graduate route, student, or skilled worker. They are known as dependents. And spouse are actually the spouse or partner of British citizen or settled person. Someone is here as a spouse. I mean, that means he or she is the partner of a British citizen. However, for some reason, unfortunately, the marriage has broken down. So what can the spouse do now? The spouse can switch to this category, provided he or she creates a company and the company gets licensed. Then that spouse visa holder can switch to this category as well. So these are the main current visa holders who can switch within the country to this category. So requirement, I have pointed out the main requirements. You need to check that whether you meet all these requirements or not. Obviously, someone has to be adult, 18 or over. That means then someone has to establish a UK company which is active and genuine. Active means the company has already started its trading. You can find many companies in the UK that who are in the dormant mode, or who the companies are there, the company is not actually actively trading. Someone has created a company or registered a company like 1 year before, but did not start any activities. This sort of company will not be able to get a license. The company has to be a genuine company. Genuine means the company got all the necessary elements, like they got premises, they got a bank account, they got activities. The bank account, through the bank account we can learn that the company is in trading. That means company is earning revenue, paying salary, paying rents, rates, all those things. Then this is a genuine company. Then third one is the company or sponsor has successfully applied for his skilled worker sponsor license. The company has to apply for license. So I will deal with the requirements to apply for a sponsor license little later in the following few after a few slides. And the company has to apply, and the application has to be successful, has successfully applied, and the company sponsor has assigned a valid COS. So the company got the license, then the company issue a course for you. The job offer is a genuine vacancy. Again, genuinity is always there. The Home Office would like to see that this is a genuine application, is a genuine job is there. The company genuinely need this person, genuinely need you to run the company. So this should be there. So I'll explain more about all these things within my presentation. The job is an appropriate skill level. It is always, it has to be, there is a list of jobs, which is also known as eligible job code 2020. So it has to be appropriate skill level according to that code. And you will be paid a salary which equals to exit both or both a salary, general salary threshold or going rate SOC code 2020, all those things. I mean, there is a list of the jobs and there is a salary for the for each and every jobs. So the salary has to be accurately paid to you. The company sponsor has paid any required immigration skill charge. So you are competent for English language levels D1. So in most of the cases, if you're in PSW already in the UK, you don't need to be worried about English language requirement because you already completed UK degree and it meets the requirements automatically meets the requirements if you have completed UK degree. So you have enough money to support yourself. If the company issue the course and company certifies your maintenance that you don't need to worry about maintenance funds. So in most of the cases, it is your own company, so you can certify the maintenance. So it will not be needed in most of the cases. So don't need to be worried about it much. And you have provided a criminal record certificate if required. Um, some of the job role require that, such as like care visa or some of the other jobs. So in most of the cases, I believe that you will not go for care visa because you are not going to establish a care company, which is a very, very high requirement is so high, threshold is so high. You have to have the CQC, Care Commission, Care Quality Commission certificate, which will take so long time, more than a year time. So probably in most of the cases, it will not be relevant for you. So you will probably, in most of the cases, you will not need that. However, some criminal record certificate may require for some nationalities, such as most of the Middle Eastern countries, nationalities, they need that. Some other countries, some Russia, China, they also need these. So if it is required for you, you have to have that. So if I turn to how to apply for self-sponsorship skilled worker visa, just very few simple steps. One is you need to establish the UK company, then you need to apply for the sponsor license. After that, you assign the course, then you apply for visa and you get the visa. That's how. So the first one is stage one. You need to establish a UK company. So to qualify for a skilled worker visa through self-sponsorship, you must register with a new company in the UK or already registered with a company. You can buy a company if you want to, or you can register a new company. Both options are there. So any of these has to be happened in your case. So in most of the cases, what people do, people register a very new company, brand new company. That's how we start. After that, if you are unfamiliar with UK company registration process, UK laws and regulations, so what we are saying that you can ask us, we can, I mean, you can ask the hassle-free education, Mr. Hassan Habib or his team. They have got expert people who can create the company for you. Or when we are doing, I mean, we and hassle-free education, we have collaborated in this program. So we can assist you to register the UK company. It is very simple thing. In most of the cases, what is the need, what documents you would need? Your passport, your BRP card, proof of address, and national insurance number. That would be needed. And apply for a skilled worker sponsor license. There is a requirement. I would say that in the next slide. But moreover, once you register your company, you should start trading. I mean, you should start your business. Business should your UK business is a genuine business operating lawfully in the UK. UK businesses are capable of carrying out its sponsor duties effectively. Obviously, you have to commit, you have to have the commitment, or your authorizing officer. I'll tell more about the authorizing officer. What does authorizing officer mean? The person has to have the capability to carry out sponsor duties effectively, and UK business offers genuine employment. So at least the employment is there only for you. At least it has to happen in this process. So what will be the required documents in order to make the sponsor license application? You have created a company. After that, of course, you have to think that how or which documents you would be needed in order to make the sponsor license application for the company. So once the company is registered, you must need some documents in order to make the sponsor license application. There is a list for about 9 to 10 documents. I have selected only 6 documents here. Even out of these 6 documents, you only need minimum 4 documents from the following list. So let's check from the beginning. First one is PAY reference number and accounts office reference number. Uh, I'm not sure whether all of you are familiar with PAY reference number. What does PAY mean? What's the abbreviation of PAY? PAY is it stands for pay as you earn. So any company who got employees and they need to pay taxes for the employees, and they need to submit, it is called real-time information, RTI, in relation to the employee's employment to the HMRC. HMRC is His Majesty's Revenue and Customs. I mean, where the employers pay their taxes for the employees. So any company who got the employees and paying the taxes for them, income tax and other taxes, they have to have a PAY reference number and accounts office reference number. These 2 documents together would be treated as one document. PAY reference number and accounts office reference number. These 2 are provided in one document. So this is treated as one document. Once the company is registered, the very next thing you would be doing, or your accountant would be doing, is making an application to the HMRC for a PAY reference number and accounts office reference number. Because why they will do it once the company is registered? Because it takes about 6 to 8 weeks to get PAY reference number and accounts office reference number. So it takes some time. The company can be registered within a day or 2, but the PAY reference number, to get the PAY reference number, you have to wait minimum 6 weeks. So better, once the company is registered, the accountant should apply for PAY reference number and accounts office reference number straight away. Then the company is registered with the company's house. Then the next thing you should do is start trying to open a business bank account. So most of the banks I have seen that they tell you that the company has to be minimum 4 days old, or some of the banks says 9 days old. After 4 or 9 days, you can apply for a business bank account. You cannot apply on day 1 or 2 after registering the company. Some of the banks says 4 days, some of the banks says 5 days, and some of the banks even says 9 days. So it depends. So let's say after 1 week or 9 days, you apply for a business bank account. The best option for you would be you contact to the same bank where you have got your personal bank account. And my strong suggestion here, please remember that my strong suggestion here, I strongly recommend that you get a business bank account in a high street bank, not only online based banks. Like there are some online based banks like Monzo, Tide, or Revolut, all those banks who do not have physical branches on the streets, on the streets. So they are not known as high street banks. Those are like only online based banks. So please do not open the account there, because Home Office undermine those banks, and Home Office try to make more checks, and they can ask for more documents, and that can only delay the sponsor license application. So you you open a bank account in a high street bank. That's my recommendation. And please forget this part or letter from the bank. Since last 2 months, I am not providing letter from bank, because if I there in the home office guidance, you will see both options are there. Either you provide bank statement or you provide letter from the bank. But as a lawyer, I have to give you the best advice. So I won't say, I would suggest not to provide this. I have to delete this part from this list. I'll delete it in due course. So letter from bank, we will not provide that, because if you provide letter from bank, eventually after a few days, home office will ask you to provide the bank statement. So there is no point to provide only the letter from the bank. So forget about that. There are two options, either bank statement or letter from the bank. We will choose the option of bank statement, and we have to submit 1 month's bank statement. Remember that. So after opening the bank account, you start you start having the transactions in the business bank account. First transactions can be your investment. You can put some money, you can transfer some money from your personal account to your business bank account, um, and you should provide a reference investment. This is your first investment. It can be £1,000, it can be £500, it can be £5,000, depending on your business, what sort of business you will be doing. So that's then after that, as you remember that I said previously and several times, or 4 or 5 times I have said that the company should start trading, company should start operating. And how the home office will judge that? Home office will judge by seeing the bank statements. So at this point, you should start earning revenue. You should start doing the business. So you should get the revenue, or you should generate invoices to your clients or to your people, so who can make the payments to this business bank account. So the statements for 1 month statements, we have a proper statements. We have a even anybody sees the bank statement, they can say that yes, it looks like the company is running properly. Okay. So company bank statements, once you open the bank account, you will start doing the transactions, you start earning money, and you start paying, all the expenditures from this account. So the bank statements will have a good bank statements end of the month, which can be used to make the sponsor license application. Third, um, third document can be employer's liability insurance certificate. This one is the most simplest job. You should do it through online. Either you will do, or I mean, if you give us the job to do the whole thing, if you do it for yourself, then we can get it done with your instruction. It takes only 10 to 15 minutes through online. Anyone can do it. There are so many websites. There are so many comparison sites through which you can do employer's liability insurance. Depending on your business, which sort of business you will be doing, the employer's liability insurance can cost you something between 150 to like £300 to £400, depending on your business for the whole year. If you want to pay by installments, monthly basis, it can cost you like about £20 per month, or 30 to 40 pounds per month. If you want to pay by installments, and then still you can get the employer's liability insurance. So this can be achieved within that short period of time. It can be done anytime before you make the sponsor license application. So number 4, you remember that we need minimum 4 documents, mandatory documents. Without providing 4 documents, your sponsor license application will be refused. You must have minimum 4 key documents. The fourth one can be proof of ownership or lease or tenancy document of your business premises. You have seen the business premises. Let's say someone is thinking to do a business from home, residential premises. It will not be accepted. The tenancy agreement of your house is not accepted for this purpose. It has to be from a commercial property. It has to be from a business premises, and you can have tenancy document. Lease can be I mean, it can be a long commitment for you, can be a burden for you in future. So I would suggest you go for tenancy document. It can be like, it can be terminated with 1 month notice. That sort of tenancy document you can get, depending on your business, what sort of business you will be doing. You have to find a space for you, whether it is only one room, or it's a shop, or it's a room in a high-rise business, a commercial premises. It is fine. You should have a tenancy agreement or tenancy document for the business premises. So I would target these 4 documents. Don't worry about VAT registration number document or CT600 or CT603. VAT registration is something which is a mandatory document for those businesses who got yearly turnover of minimum 90,000. And if you can register VAT, voluntarily register for VAT, but VAT can be another liability for you in future. At this moment, to start with, I would say I would recommend not to go for VAT registration number. Just go up to number 4, number 1, 2, 3, 4. These 4 key documents would be sufficient for your application. So these 4 documents, apart from that, you also need to submit some other things, such as one thing called hierarchy chart of the organization. Other thing is called Appendix A questionnaire. There are lots of a bunch of questions which you need to answer. I mean, why the company wants to apply for a sponsor license, what is the need of your sponsor license application, whether it has identified anybody, the company has identified the director of the company, which is yourself, because of this reason. You have to justify the reason, and company nature of the business, and there are some other questions which can be dealt by us if we deal with your matter. So these 4 documents, then hierarchy chart and Appendix A questionnaires, along with the application form, all these things will be needed in order to make the sponsor license application. Then the next slide is quite important, or very important. You have to appoint key personals. There are 3 key personals in this sponsor license application. Prior to submitting your application for a sponsor license, you will need to appoint 3 key personnel. Who are they? One is an authorizing officer. Authorizing officer is the person who will manage the sponsor license and who will be the ultimate responsible person for the license, ensuring that sponsor license duties are met. In a sense, actually, Home Office will contact for any purpose in future to the authorizing officer. Home Office will only see that the authorizing officer can maintain the sponsor license properly. Authorizing officer will be the responsible to maintain the sponsor license. In a sense, the Home Office will give the sponsor license after seeing the authorizing officer. I mean, the authorizing officer, you have to have an authorizing officer. Okay, then a key contact, a person also known as key contact, and at least one level 1 user. Okay. Okay, there are 3 positions which are the key positions or key personas. However, all these 3 positions can be held by one person. Who is this person? Can be the same person, can be the authorizing officers and key contact and level 1 user. And who can be the authorizing officer? Must be a British citizen or settled person in the UK. The authorizing officer has to be authorizing officer, because I'm just saying that, let's say we have got the same person, Mr. Biden is our authorizing officer, key contact, and level 1 user. Mr. Biden has to be a British citizen or settled person in the UK. Or there is another option that if that person is an EU national, European national living in the UK, that person can have pre-settlement or settlement status in the UK. So mostly British settled person or pre-settled status holder EU national pre-settled status holder can be authorizing officer, key contact, and level 1 user. So I also want you to have one more thing, that you created a company, you registered a company. When you registered a company, you became the director of the company, right? Because it is your own company. You are this company is sponsoring you. That means you are sponsoring yourself. But who is the authorizing officer? Is he an employee, or is he a volunteer? I mean, working with you as a voluntarily working with the company, or what it is? To make the application stronger, I would strongly recommend, also this is not the Home Office requirement, but this is my recommendation, a strong recommendation. After dealing with many applications, I am recommending you that you have this authorizing officer as your director as well. You will be the director, and that person will also be a director of the company. But if you think that I don't want to give him a share, you can do it. You can have 100% share of the company, and the authorizing officer can also be a director of the company, but let's say he does not have any share. He got 0% share. You got 100% share, but the authorizing officer does not have any share at all. He has got 0% share. This is fine, but he's a director of the company. There is a term called non-executive director. So this is something non-executive director. We want the authorizing officer be your director, and it can be like 0% share, or if you want to give him a share, 10% share, 20% share, it's up to you. It's between you and him, between you and the authorizing officer. Whatever share you will be having for yourself or for him is entirely up to you. But maximum you can take full share 100%, and he can take only 0%, no problem. Why I'm suggesting you to have this person as a director? I answer you that way, that let's say Home Office is now considering your sponsor license application. He is saying that who is the director of the company, who got the main responsibility for the company. Authorizing officer is there, but authorizing officer is not a director. Let's assume authorizing officer is only your employee. Home Office will say, okay, this company's director he got a limited leave to remain. He got graduate route visa, and he got the visa for 6 months only. So Home Office will not feel good that if I give license to this company, but the company owner got the visa only for 6 months. So whether this company will last here, if the visa cannot be renewed or all these things, this is an uncertain thing. So Home Office will hesitate to grant the sponsor license for this company. However, if the company got a director who is a British citizen or settled person in the UK, so then Home Office caseworker will feel more confident to grant the sponsor license for this company. So I would strongly recommend that you have a British citizen in your company who is the other director of the company. Regardless, he got 0% share, no problem. You are the owner, you are investing, you are the 100% shareholder of the company. Holding a share is one thing, and being a director is another thing in the UK Company Act. So you have this authorizing officer as your director. That's my strong recommendation. After that, you make the sponsor license application. Again, in this stage, my suggestion is that you make the priority service application. Priority service application currently costs £1,036, and the standard application currently costs £536. That means you are paying £500 extra to have the priority service option. The priority service is that service that where Home Office will give you a decision within 10 working days from the date of application, the sponsor license application. However, if you make the standard application, it will the Home Office current guidance says that it will take about 8 weeks. The time limit is 8 weeks for the Home Office, and these 8 weeks they can have more checks, they can ask for more documents, they will make the decision they will have long time to make the decision. We don't want to go through that route. We always apply only for the priority service. So you pay £500 extra, but you for peace of mind, so you get the decision within 10 working days or 14 calendar days. That means 2 weeks. So you make that sort of application, although you are paying £500 extra, but it is worth it to make this sort of priority service application. So you get the decision. By the grace of Almighty, you get the decision, a positive decision. If everything is fine, if it's properly handled, if the Appendix A questionnaire is justified, all the things are there, then you got the sponsor license. Now, with the sponsor license, usually you will get minimum one course, one local course. Courses are two types. There are two types of courses. One is just simply known as course, certificate of sponsorship. That is for the for the local people, for the local applicant, the applicants who are already in the UK, like you were here with PSW visa or graduate visa. And there is another types of course which is known as defined course, also known as D course. D course is for the international applicants. People have not arrived in the UK. They are in their own country, like in India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, or any other country. Their company wants to sponsor that person, so the person can come. This is called defined course. This course will not be given straightway to this company. The company will only be given one course. The Home Office will only give one course at the beginning. Cost means local cost. D cost means international cost. The D cost will not be given at the beginning. For the D cost, if in future if you want to get a D cost, then you have to apply for a D cost within the sponsor management system. There is an online portal called sponsor management system, also known as SMS. Through SMS, you need to apply for D cost. Then you need to. There are some other requirements to get the D cost. I'm not discussing that for today because all of you are already in the UK. So I'm discussing only for the local cost. You remember that with the company sponsor, if the company sponsor license application is approved and the license will automatically, in most of the cases, will have one cost already. So you assign that cost for yourself. Okay, cost is actually assigned by the authorizing officer or level 1 user key counter for this. And you remember that the authorizing officer is a British person or settled person in the UK who is also another director of the company. When a course is assigned or course is issued, that is actually issued by the authorizing officer. So that course is issued, then with that course, you make the visa application. And when you assign the course, you or authorizing officer assign the course. Sorry, you or authorizing officer assign the course. So that time you have to remember that you give appropriate salary, you give appropriate job code, you provide all the information correctly. If the course is assigned correctly, then there is no reason why the visa can be refused. So with the course, you apply for the visa and the visa is granted. That is your self-sponsorship skilled worker visa. Officially only skilled worker visa. As the company owned by yourself, therefore, you are sponsoring yourself. This is, as I said, popularly known as self-sponsorship visa. So that's how you this is your journey. And if you are in that category for 5 years, after 5 years, you need to maintain the license. You need to pay the taxes to the HMRC. The company has to pay salary to you, and company also needs to pay the taxes. Your employers NI, employees NI, employees income tax, all those things. Then end of 5 years, if you meet all other requirements, such as you don't have any criminal record, you don't have any CCG against you. CCJ means county court judgment. I mean, no civil case or no criminal case against you. Then you also pass life in the UK. Then you, after 5 years, you can make the settlement application and you get the settlement in the UK. Um, and if you have dependents from the beginning, dependents can be with you in their visa will be granted in line with your visa. If your visa application is successful, then your dependent's visa application will also be successful. So these are the things. So this is the way it is. And there are some frequently asked questions. So I can leave this thing open for you. You can see that who can I actually answered all these questions, I believe. Can a director, can I be a director or shareholder of the UK company if I sponsor myself for a skilled worker visa? Yes, you can be a director. As I said, you can, and you can even hold up to 100% shares in your company. Will I need to show a certain amount of investment funds to qualify? There is no such requirement, though there is no, it depends on your business. Let's say someone is doing a business, they do, I got such clients, they do graphic design. So to do a graphic design, they only need a computer and they got the graphic designing skills. They only need computer, internet, a good computer, that's all, maybe a website, all those things. So this is a huge investment. You might have a computer already and having a website, a domain, all these things are not very costly. So the investment can be very low and you can also have some sort of advertisements in Facebook or other social media, so you get clients through that. So it is not a huge investment. Of course, there is other investments such as like you got business premises. As I said, you may have a small office somewhere, and you are paying rent of like 500 or 600 pounds per month. So that sort of investment, and but you, so this is a very small investment. But someone wants to do, let's say, a restaurant or let's say a corner shop off license. I got clients like this. So that can be big investment. That can be 50,000 investment. That can be more investment depending on your job, what you will be doing. I got to one client. He got licensed a couple of months before. He got cleaning company. Only, I mean, how much money you need to buy some cleaning equipments. It's not so much, maybe 1,000 pounds, 2,000 pounds. It's not a very big investment. So he only got a website, he provide, the cleaning advertisements in the yeah, through Facebook, and he gets the clients from local area. He does not charge much. So this is very, I mean, he doesn't need to invest a fortune. So it depends that what sort of business you will be doing. So you can, it depends on the investment will depend on that. Does the UK business have to be innovative or unique? No, this is not required. It is not innovator founder route. For innovator founder, there is a visa called innovator founder. For that, the business idea has to be innovative. But here, no requirement, no such requirement. It can be any business, any traditional business, any unique business, anything new, anything old, no problem at all, as long as this is a genuine business. Okay. Will I need to provide a business plan in support of my self-sponsored skilled worker visa application? Business plan is not mandatory. However, suppose you are looking to sponsor yourself as a skilled worker, in that case, it will often be more straightforward to satisfy the Home Office that your UK business is a genuine organization operating lawfully in the UK if you have a detailed business plan. We are not submitting a business plan, but you should have this in your mind, or you should have a draft business plan. And according to the business plan, we can make the application and we can fill up that Appendix A questionnaire. But if you have a proper business plan, there is no harm. We can submit the business plan as an additional documents. That is, no one is stopping you to submit a business plan with the actual application. But this is not a mandatory document. We can avoid that. If you have a draft business plan in your mind, or if you have written somewhere, according to the business plan, we can answer the Appendix A questionnaires. Some of the questions are related to your future business plan. Okay. Will I need to receive a salary while I am in the UK on a self-sponsorship skilled worker visa? Yes, once you get the visa, it's the same rule for the skilled worker category. Self-sponsorship actually a skilled worker visa. So skilled worker visa holders have to get the salary from the sponsor. So your company must pay salary to you, and otherwise there will be a problem when you make the settlement application after 5 years, or even if you now make the visa application for 3 years, get the visa for 3 years. If you want to renew, if you have to renew after 3 years for another 2 years, that time, if the home office finds that the company is not paying the salary to you, then there'll be a problem. So from once you get the visa, you should start getting the salary from your company. You must start getting the salary from your company. The company has to pay you appropriate salary. Can I take an additional work in the UK while running my UK business as a self-sponsored skilled worker? Yes, you can. You are permitted to work 20 hours after doing your main job in your own company. You can do extra 20 hours supplementary employment. However, that supplementary employment um, has to be uh, supplementary job has to be one of those jobs which are listed in the eligible job code. It has to be, in the big list of eligible job code 2020. It has to be one of those jobs, and you can do extra 20 hours. I give you an example. Let's say I give the example for the same person. Let's say he got a graphic design business. Graphic designer, he provides the designing thing, or he is a website designer, all those things. So can he work in a restaurant? Can he work as a waiter? No, he cannot work as a waiter. I'm talking about supplementary employment. Can he work 20 hours apart from his own business and work for his own business? Can he work extra 20 hours in the restaurants? He, as a waiter, he can't, but he can do that job if he works as a restaurant manager or floor manager or chef or kitchen manager. Because those job titles are listed in the eligible job code. Waiter is not listed in eligible job code. Can he works in ASDA? He ASDA in the till section he cannot. He can work as a manager or supervisor. He can work there. The shop supervisor is there in the eligible job code. Okay, so uh, you need to find that which job you are doing as a supplementary employment. So if that job is listed under the eligible job code, no problem. You can do extra 20 hours in the other companies. Can I qualify for indefinite leave to remain if I sponsor myself for a skilled worker visa? Yes, it's a skilled worker visa. I have just answered a few minutes before that if you will qualify for settlement as a skilled worker after spending continuous period of 5 years in the UK under this route. You must satisfy residence requirement, pass life in the UK test. So these are the most of the things in relation to this sort of category. So this is my presentations. I know you got lots of questions. I'll be happy to answer those questions if you ask me the questions now. Okay.
Thank you so much, Mr. Salim, sharing a lot of valuable information. So can you please just stop sharing the screen? So of course we're gonna take so many questions. So before that, just I'd like to recap what Barrister Salim shared with you right now. So first of all, how many of you have taken the notes that you need 4 documents? Please type in the chat box 4. Type in the chat box 4 if you have taken the notes, 4 documents. So after hearing the 4 documents, how many of you are now overwhelmed, thinking, oh my God, how I'm gonna do it? Who's gonna do it for me? And all those sort of things. The beauty of working with us is you don't have to do anything, to be honest with you. So the first document you required is pay reference number and account reference number. So I don't know how to do this. So my accountant, he does it for me. So what are you gonna do? This is the accountant job. We're gonna assign you an accountant. He's gonna help you and he's gonna do it for you. So if you really understood what I mean, please type in the chat box understood. Okay. Second one is bank statement or to open a bank. So of course, we're gonna consult with you. We're gonna know your business plan and everything, and we're gonna tell you exactly what to tell to the bank so that you can have a bank account. And once you get the bank account, of course, you're gonna do the transaction. I mean, buying or selling, and then so you can submit as a bank statement. And the third one is employer liability insurance. So we're gonna guide you which company you should go for. It costs you 150 to 200 pounds, something like this. And proof of ownership, lease. So once you get a rent or something else, so the company, they're gonna provide you the lease or rent agreement. So don't worry about that, right? So it sounds rocket science, but it's not. If it was rocket science, I wouldn't be here today, right? So what happened to me is, so Barrister Salim, he guided me. He asked me to do this bit, that bit, and I just did it. So how many of you think that this is very, very informative information and is helping you a lot? Please type in the chat box, helping me a lot. I'd like to see. We're gonna take your questions, and what we're gonna do is, of course, imagine you got the visa, self-sponsorship visa. So this visa is all about business. Do you agree or not? Please type in the chat box if you agree. Self-sponsorship visa is nothing but running a business. Type in the chat box if you agree or you don't agree. So what I'm gonna do, I'll just I'm seeking permission from Barrister Selim to give me 10 minutes. I'd like to show you. So once you get the what is called visa, so how you're gonna start your business and you can scale up. So first of all, I'd like to take the opportunity to say a little bit about myself and my family. So I was born and brought up in a lower middle class family. My father was a high school teacher and my mother was a primary school teacher. How many of you are here? So who grown up like my ways with not a lot of money? Type in the chat box me, I'd like to see. How many of you are not from a very, very wealthy family, affluent family? Type in the chat box me. There is nothing to be shy. Okay, so can you see this picture? Is one of my cousin, my dad, and basically we are sitting on the yard, and you see our tin shed house. I was born there, I grew up there, brought up there, and I was happy. There is no complaint at all, right? So from there, it's the same place but different building. So from this place to this place, so one thing that changed my whole life and helped me to come from this place to this place. Would you like to know what is that? Type in the chat box. How many of you would like to know what helped me to come from this place to this place? Type in the chat box if you'd like to know. I'd like to see how many of you are really, really curious to know how I moved from this place to this place. So just I'd like to see how many of you are really, really curious. Okay. So one word I would like to tell you, that's called mentorship. Please type in the chat box mentorship. Quickly type in the chat box mentorship. So one person who became my mentor and he changed my whole life. And he's my first mentor is Mo Nawaz, right? So he mentored me from nothing, from here to come here. So in this picture, I'm gonna play a game with you. Can you identify where I'm sitting right now here? Type in the chat box, I'd like to see. So if you start from here, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Type in the chat box if you can see me. So basically, this is the mentorship program. My mentor, He invited 12 people to go to the Mayfair Hotel in a small room, conference room, and he was teaching me in a shortcut way because I don't have to make a lot of mistakes because he made a lot of mistakes. And basically, he's transforming me. So these things work and these things don't work. So you got to do these things. And my responsibility was to execute what he was advising. So how many of you are here if you think that if you start a business and if you find a mentor who has got 10, 12 years experience executing business each and every day in his or her life, and who, if he helps you, you can get the result within short period of time. Type in the chat box me. I'd like to see. How many of you believe that if someone became your mentor and tell you exactly what to do because he did it time and again and got the result, and you would be successful as well? Type in chat box me. I'd like to see. Okay. So this mentorship program changed my whole life. So while I was there, I was around 9,000 pounds on debt. And then I moved from there through my mentorship program. So I started a small business once I got the visa with the help of Barrister Selim. And then I moved forward. So it was not easy. Um, it was simple because my mentor was with me and he advised me what to do step by step. So you can see here. So there are few people, they are learning from us. So in this event, we are teaching them everything about the business. So what business you should do, how to take a step by step, all sort of things. So it's 90 minutes program. And I have got only 10 minutes or less than that. So I'm going so fast. Um, I love driving, especially good cars. And how many of you? Okay, please type in the chat box. What's your favorite car here? Type in the chat box. What's your favorite car? Type in the chat box. Which car do you like the most? Just I'm curious, right? So my favorite one was, okay, what a Q6 now. Okay, excellent. Bugatti, Lambo. Okay, excellent. So my one was Range Rover. So while I was driving Honda Jazz, there is no complaint. While I was driving Honda Jazz, so my favorite car was Range Rover. While I was driving with my wife, while I see a Range Rover, I started shouting, "Oh, there is a Range Rover! There is a Range Rover!" So once I started doing my business and getting the results, so one day I went to the showroom and I got it, right? So here you go. So all you need to do is you need to find mentor or trainer who can help you to get the similar results. So this is the American guy from Grant Cardone, and he is one of the best sales mentor in the world. And I am on his training. I'm learning from him and utilizing in my business. So this is our London office. This is our Birmingham office in Lewis Building in City Center. This is our Manchester office in a space. Here you go. And this is our Leeds office, very small office, right? So how have I done all sort of things? You need to understand just one thing. You need only 3 skills. So if you hear me right, please type in the chat box 3 skills. Quickly type in the chat box 3 skills. So what are the 3 skills you need? Number one is sales. So if you don't have sales, you don't have any business. So type in the chat box, number one is sales. Number two is advertisement. So if you know how to do advertisement, so you get the targeted people who will be much more interested to get the service or product from you. So you need to know how to do advertisement. And the third skill is management skill. Basically, you need to know how to manage the people who is going to help you to make your team bigger and better and to serve better. So these are the only 3 skills: sales, advertisement, and management skill. So what I'm going to do, I'll show you something here. So please type in the chat box in this screenshot. So how much money we have spent in a few years? Type in the chat box. I'd like to see. Only on Facebook, just I'm giving a screenshot and you can see the date as well is today's screenshot. So how much money we have spent in Facebook? Type in the chat box. I'd like to see everybody's comment. So yeah, type in the chat box. So over 3 grand from one of the campaigns, right? One of the what is called one of the campaigns. So we have got some other campaigns as well. So right now we have spent over £500,000 in different social media like Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, Google Ads, everywhere, right? So what do you think? After spending this amount of money, do you think I know one or two things about the advertisement? Please type in the chat box, yes or no. After spending this amount of money, do you think I know one or two things about advertisement which works very well? Type in the chat box, yes or no. And now I'd like to ask you a question is, so this is the impression. So how many people saw our advertisement? So please type in the chat box. How many people saw our advertisement? So whatever the products and service we are selling to them. So that means we reached out to them. So how many millions? Type in the chat box. Over 83 millions. Over 83 million. So every day is just growing. So what do you think? If you have got a very good product or service, and if you know how to advertise to the targeted people who will be much more interested and who believe that you can help them in their life or in their business, and they will come to you and they will take your service or product. So we have reached out over 83 million people from this ad, and we have got other manager account as well, right? So these are the things. So exactly. So if I can teach you how to do sales and how to do advertisement and how to do management skills, so what do you think? Will you be successful in the business or not? Please type in the chat box, yes, I will or I won't. So there is a study, it shows in the UK, 90% business fail in first 5 years. Please type in the chat box, 90%, if you hear me right. 90% business fail in first 5 years in UK. That means 90% startup, they fail in first 5 years. So what's the reason, do you think? Why do they fail? Why do they fail? They don't have these three skills. That's the reason. They don't have these three skills. So what are the three skills you know right now, right? So now I'm going to show you the live example. So you have seen our ad, right? So self-sponsorship ad. You can see this is my picture, and this is probably one of all of you have seen the videos, and 513 people from this ad registered here from one campaign, 530 people. And each person, it cost me how much? Type in the chat box. So Facebook charged me how much to register you here? Type in the chat box. How much money Mark Zuckerberg charged me to register here? Type in the chat box quickly. I'd like to see. If you can see, quickly type in the chat box. £1 93 pence, right? And 79 people they reached, and impression was 254,000. So just I'm giving an example. So now I reached out to you. That means you are my audience. I was able to reach out my marketing message to you. That's why you registered and you're here in this workshop. And now, so how many invoices do you need to make 1 million? Type in the chat box. Just I'm gonna share it with you one or two. How many invoices like this do you need to make millions? Type in the chat box. How many invoices do you need to make million? Type in the chat box. Average, how many? Quickly type in the chat box, how many to make million? Probably 10, probably 15, probably less than 20, right? So, and also in the advertisement, you saw that, okay, from broke to here. So this is the property I bought in Essex. This is the property I bought in Birmingham. This is the property I bought in Durham, right? So now my question is, how are you gonna do it? That's your question, right? How are you gonna do it? So, or how are we gonna help you? Okay, these are the way we can help you. Number one is, of course, in this month, you're gonna get a book. The name of the book is The Self-Sponsorship Visa, Unlocking the Secret to Permanent UK Residency. You're gonna get this book. And so Barrister Selim, he has written some chapters as well. Chartered accountant, he has written some chapters as well. So it's all about self-sponsorship. You're gonna get it. So once you go through this book, you educate yourself, and this is how we are helping you. So also, we are running a workshop, 1 day workshop is starting from 10:30 and is finishing like 5:30. Is online and offline. So how many you think, or how many still you think that, okay, I have more questions or I'd like to now learn more. 90 minutes is not enough. So type in the chat box me. I'd like to see how many of you are in this position that, okay, I'd like to know more, I'd like to learn more, and I'd like to execute more so that I can make sure that I'm going through the um, self-sponsorship visa and I get settlement. How many? Type in the chat box me. Okay, that's why we're gonna give you 1 day workshop is completely free, but we have got very limited seat. So to confirm your seat, all you need to do is you need to pay £10, and once you finish the workshop, we're gonna refund you £10, right? In this workshop, we're gonna teach you all day long all about sales, advertisement, and management skill, and also what business you should start. So type in the chat box. Still, if you are confused, what business should I start? So if you're really confused, please type in the chat box confused. So if you are really, really confused, so in that case, we are giving this opportunity to work with us for the whole day, and you are not paying anything. So basically £10 deposit. So once you finish the workshop online or offline, we're gonna refund you back. So, and after that, once you feel that, okay, so this is the person, I believe that he can help me and he can support me during my journey. And that's why we'll invite you for the Business Mastery 3 days. And in these 3 days, we're gonna sit with you together and we're gonna build your business. We're gonna train you how to sell this, how to advertise, and how to get the management skill. 3 days, and of course there is investment for this. And you see, it is gonna be very small amount of people, like 15, 20, and we're gonna teach you exactly what you need to know, what you need to learn, and how to execute it, right? And also, so you have learned how to start your business, what's your product, you have created it. Now probably first 12 months you'll be struggling with this sort of business. So that's why we'll be offering you 12 months mentorship program. And in this 12 months, basically, you will be connected with the mentors, you'll be connected with the accountants, whatever the problem you will be countering. So we're gonna solve your problem 7 days in a week. And also we're gonna do the live um, twice in a month workshop like this. So basically, whatever the problems you'll be bringing in, we're gonna solve your problem instantly. So this is the mentorship program for 12 months. And so that's gonna be one of the dream mentorship like me. What I think, if I wouldn't join this mentorship program, I wouldn't be here today. So that's why you need to join kind of this program, and you need to invest in yourself, right? So this is the mentorship program is money back guarantee. If you don't make enough money, whatever the investment is, we're gonna refund your money, 100% money back, no question asked. I'm talking about only mentorship program, not about the legal part, not about the business mastery. So 12 months mentorship program. So this is all about the things I wanted to share with you. And probably you might have a question. So how much would be the investment for 3 days business mastery, where I'm going to create my business, where I'm going to learn how to sell and how to advertise, and also how to get the management skill. So is 299 for 3 days program, and is on off. So if you really understood how much would be the investment for 3 days business mastery, please type in the chat box 299, £299. And also for the mentorship program, so the investment would be £2,000. Or all you can do, if you are really, really tight financially, you need to pay £200 per month. That's how you need to do. So what I'm gonna do, I'll give you the opportunity to ask question to Mr. Selim and myself as well. And by this time, I'm gonna give you the application form. So who would like to book an appointment with Barrister Selim and to start your application right away? So by the way, how many of you have got visa less than 3 months? Please type in the chat box me. So if you have got the visa less than 3 months, we can't help you. Unfortunately, we are very sorry. We can't help you because to do all of this, it takes at least 3 months, and we don't like to take any risk. So in that case, we would recommend you to go for further study. I mean, either research master's program or Doctor of Business program. And for the Doctor of Business program, Business Administration is gonna cost you 8,800 something. So we can help you regarding that as well. As you know, we are the student consultancy firm. Apart from this self sponsorship, we are helping local and international students in UK and from international countries as well. And for the research master program is going to cost you around 12, 13, 14,000 pounds. So if you have got less than 3 months visa, sorry, this is not for you. Now I'm going to invite everybody else to get your question and ask Mr. Salim. So thank you. And if you'd like to book an appointment with Mr. Salim, this is the application form. So please click the link and fill out the form and book an appointment with Mr. Salim. Thank you, everyone. So if you've got any questions, please raise your hand electronically. We will unmute yourself and you can ask Mr. Salim directly. All right, so how many have? So you can raise your hand electronically and we will. Okay. So Mr. Khairul Hassan, okay, you got a question. Excellent. So Mr. Salim, are you here?
Yes, I am.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. So so I'm taking a few questions for you. So yeah, my team, can you please unmute Mr. Khairul Hassan?
Oh, hi there. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Hi. Yeah, my name is Khairul Hassan. You can call me Hassan. And yeah, I was listening very carefully since the beginning. So yeah, I believe I have understand most of the part of this session, and especially the frequently asked question session. So I don't have much question to ask you. The only thing is, when you said PSW visa holder or like a dependent, right now I'm a dependent. I've just have finished my PSW basically. So my wife, she's got a, I mean, sponsor from somewhere. Don't ask me from where. So basically, what I was looking for the information is, can she go for her own business and then, as because she's already like a, I mean, skilled worker with a job code. I'm not gonna share the job code right now. Can she do this for herself and then again can she sponsor herself, though she's already working as a skilled worker?
Yes, she can. Yes. I mean, skilled worker people are allowed to open a business,
Yeah.
provided that they start doing the business for up to 20 hours per week. I mean, they spend time for up to 20 hours. Let me show you one thing.
I mean, sorry to interrupt again. I mean, my confusion was as because there are some issues for the job code or something like that. The code she is holding right this moment is definitely like a managerial position. So, being a manager for one organization, is this possible for her to go for a set up her own business and then convert her visa status from working from somewhere else to her own business as a manager, and that's how she can get the sponsorship under her name, and I became the same. And what is gonna be our already the way we are right now? I mean, I'm a dependent, my wife, she's a skilled worker. We've got approximately 2 years of visa expiry date. So what is gonna happen with our applications, existing application, because we have already paid the health charges and everything?
Okay, there are several questions in your conversation. What I'll do, I'll share the screen for a moment and let's go there.
Okay.
You can see, I'm in the, can you see my screen?
I can, yeah.
Yes. Yeah, you can see skilled worker visa. If I go to here, taking an additional work, okay?
Okay.
Here you will see if you work overtime in the job you are being sponsored for, you do not need to update your visa. I mean, in the same job, if someone is working more than I'm doing any overtime, no problem. There is no limit for overtime. You can also work for 20 hours a week in another job or for your own business. Did you
Oh,
see that?
yeah, I can see that.
So 20 hours, another job. What is or? I mean, it can be a mix of that, or you can do your own business. That means you are permitted to establish a business here. But in the business, you can give time up to 20 hours only, not more than that.
Not more than that.
When it's a very new business, it is not a shop that you have to open the shop in the early morning and you need to close it at midnight. Or it's a restaurant, so opening hour is so long, so you have to be in the business for a long period of time. It is not the even if you have the business, someone else is running the business, you just only own the business, you give very less time in the business, that's fine. So you can work 20 hours for your own business as long as you are still doing the job you are being sponsored for. Okay? You
Okay.
got this answer. But there is one but. Your work must be in an eligible occupation code. You remember I said that there is a code, long list of code.
Yeah.
By now, as your wife is already in skilled worker category, so by now you must know what does the eligible occupation code
I do.
means. Okay, so even from your own business, you don't have to take a salary, or at the beginning you don't need to take any remuneration or anything, because it can be unpaid voluntary work. So let's go for eligible occupation code. Then the answer will be so big. This is the long list of jobs which she can do.
I've got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So my answer is yes. She can establish a new business, and she can also, that business can also apply for a sponsor license. Then all the answers or all the explanations I have given when I gave you my presentation, I presented my presentation. So that company can have a sponsor license, and she can switch to that company's sponsorship. I mean, she can make a new visa application, and her employment can be changed to her own business. Okay, now your question was what gonna happen to the dependents? If you want, your current category is PBS dependent. If you want, you can keep that as it is, and until the current time when your visa will expire. After during at the end of your current visa expiry, you can renew your visa, PPS dependent visa, and your new visa will be granted in line with your wife's visa status, in line with the duration of your visa, of your wife's visa. Okay.
Okay.
In regards to IHS, as I said, you had 3-4 questions in one question.
Yeah.
So in regards to the IHS, she will not get IHS refunded. The visa she has already got, and whatever IHS fee she paid for the current visa, this IHS fee will not be refunded. She will need to pay
Again.
IHS fee again for the new visa application. Okay.
For all of us. All of us. I mean, I've got children as well. So we have paid for all of us IHS and applications fee. So we have to pay.
Okay, I got the question. I would suggest that your wife will only make her application. You dependents, you and your child, both of your child, you people will not make any application now, because you already got another about 2 years visa. You utilize all this time. Then end of this, she will get. Let's say she starts the business now. After 3 months, she gets the license. Let's say she gets the license in December. She switches to the new visa in January, and she gets visa for, let's say, another 3 years. Okay, but your visa will run out within the next 2 years time. So you switch to her under her. I mean, you make a new PBS dependent application. It will be fine. Okay.
Oh, so it means switching from one employer to her new business will not gonna affect us as a dependent.
No, your status will remain same, PBS dependent.
Oh, that's fine then. That's fine. Yep.
Okay.
And there's no turnover requirement for the new business, which we are thinking to go for it, right? There's no turnover
By
requirement.
book, if I answer you, then there is no such requirement. However, you need to think that you are saying that she will get a salary of like 31,000 pounds a year. So, and you got other expenditures such as you are paying the
Utilities,
like
rents and
rent
everything.
for the business, and maybe you are paying other 1 or 2% salary. That means the company has to earn these sort of expenditures. The company has to earn this sort of revenue. That means her salary, rents, and if there is any other expenditure such as advertisements, and of course, if you contact Mr. Habib for the mentorship, if you think that if you invest more money in the business in order to earn lot more money, then actually the expenditure can be higher. So the company has to generate this much money. So the turnover has to be like, in a sense, it can be
More than the
around 50,
expenditure.
60,000, something like that. If it's 60,000, that means 5,000 pounds a month. So it is an estimated, depending on your business, depending on your,
Business.
how many employees you have got. The company has to earn that much money. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much for answering
Thank you.
all the questions. Cheers.
No problem.
Thank you, MD Khairul Hassan. So there is a link in the chat box. So if you'd like to book an appointment with,
I'll fill the form
yeah.
as soon as possible.
Okay. So next one,
Thank
Tim,
you.
please unmute second person. Okay. So by the way, I'm gonna give you a link in a minute to join our whole day workshop for free. As I told you, depositing only £10 because we have got limited seat. We don't like to see any time waster. So that's why we are taking £10 deposit. Okay, next question.
Hello, good evening.
Hi, good evening.
Yeah, so my question is actually I registered a security company almost a year back and I never ran that company. Can I go with that company? That's my first question. And the second thing is what sort of business category is eligible? Like if something is sort of like e-commerce or cryptocurrencies, these sort of businesses, and we have office established for that as well. Is this category eligible to apply or not? And about the first question is that if a company is registered for almost a year but and not been into any operations, can we start with that company or need to register a new company for this purpose?
Mr. Abdullah, you can start doing that business, but for the security company, because I have dealt with several security companies, I mean the Home Office will ask for SIA license. You must be aware of a license called SIA. I mean, there's a separate license that you have to have in order to run a proper security company. There are some security companies I know that who get the subcontract from the actual SIA license holder. But if you're applying for a proper security company's sponsor license to the Home Office will definitely ask for your authorization from your own regulatory body, which is SIA. For the security companies, SIA license is one of the main requirements. So, and I know that to get the SIA license, that takes a very long time, quite long time, several months, 6 months to 1 year, or even can be more, because I have dealt with some cases like this. So probably that, I mean, I'm not sure that how much time do you have, how many months visa do you still have? Depending on that, you can think about it. Other one, you said that digital marketing company. Yes, this is very much possible. Security company is in the list. We can get it done if you got SIA license. That's the first question answered. Second one is digital marketing company. It is one of the very lucrative one, and it is also, I mean, no problem at all. We can also get the sponsor license done. Home Office does not have any such list that which companies can get the sponsor license. Any legitimate company, any legitimate business will be able to get the sponsor license if they meet all the requirements. Okay, so for you, both is possible.
Like
First one, yeah.
actually, like for the first one, if we change the category of the business from a specific, like from security to facilities management thing, and we provide security under that thing, is that still eligible? Because the many companies operate in this way, they provide facilities management things in which they cover different tasks.
It is possible as long as that new nature of the business does not require a SIA license, then it is okay, no problem. I mean, if it's a genuine business, however, you have to start doing the business. You said that the business was registered about a year before, but it is not in operation. So it has to start the operation. And after 1 year, the account becomes due. So the account you would be submitting, it cannot be a dormant account. The businesses which have got the registration but did not start the business, they usually submit a dormant account. But if you did not submit the dormant account yet, if you have submitted the dormant account, then I would say that this business will not be suitable for the sponsor license application, and it will not be possible to get the license for this company. But if you haven't submitted the accounts to the company's house yet, then still, if you start doing the business, if you start doing the trading, the bank statement shows that the monies are coming and going, then it's still possible to get the license for that company.
Okay, and there is one more thing, like if there is the same business category in the security and someone is providing training to the like sort of security education and making security badges for the people, is that category eligible, or we still need some SIA approval like usually for subcontracting, because that's not part of the subcontracting. In this thing, we are providing security training to the people that needs to get into the industry.
In order to provide the training, if there is no separate, the regulatory bodies, permission not required, then it is possible. For I need to check that whether providing security training, you have to have any prior permission from anybody, any authority such as like Ofqual or any other. We need to make our own research. You can also make own research. You can check that whether the other companies who are providing training, they have got some sort of like approval from city and guilds, approval from some other companies. If it's needed, then it will also be needed for your company. Okay?
All right, thank you.
No problem. The next person, please.
Hello.
Hello. Yes, hi.
Hello, I am Muhammad Ali. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Currently, I am on PSW visa and I am doing full-time job like as a security officer.
Yes.
And I also registered my own company for e-commerce business. And it's also start trading it's in progress now.
Yeah.
So can I do both business at the same time? Like I am doing full-time job as a security officer, and can I do at the same time?
As a PSW visa holder, you can do any job, you can do any business, any lawful business you can do. So no problem, you can do 2 business, 4 business, how many, whatever. It doesn't. There is no bar. You can do as many businesses as you want as a PSW holder. But if you want to switch to a skilled workers, self-sponsorship visa, then one company should get the license, not all the companies, because it will be difficult. You only need one sponsorship. You don't need more than one sponsorship, more than one course. So you focus on one company which you want to get the license, for which
I know, but just want to know, like first I want to get some money from my I am doing full-time work. Yeah.
While you are on PSW, you can do any businesses, 2, 3, 4, 5 businesses at the same time, no problem at all.
Okay, and I have also registered my company with the company house, and it's now like I am selling and buying through e-commerce business like TikTok, Amazon.
Yeah.
So do I need to show Shopify from start, or I need to wait for some months?
No, if it's already in operation, if you are
Yeah.
trained, if you feel that you are in in good shape now. The business has started earning its revenue, generating its revenue. And remember, you have to have a good authorizing officer. Why I said good authorizing officer? Because as I said, that authorizing officer will be a responsible person to maintain the sponsor license. Let's say you got someone, a British citizen, in your company who is also one of the directors of the company. The company gets the license. After 1 year, Home Office comes to visit your company. Home Office will speak, or Home Office will deal with the authorizing officer only, not with you. Okay, so the authorizing officer has to be capable enough to deal with the Home Office. He has to be like some sort of little bit smart man, some sort of he should be able to answer. We got so many British citizens who does not speak in English properly, who are not with due
Yeah.
respect. I mean, I do not undermine our elderly people. I do not undermine anybody, but
Yeah.
let's
I
say
know.
you got someone who cannot deal with the Home Office properly, so it will not be, I mean, suitable for you. So you have to find someone who is quite smart, who is quite,
Yeah.
capable enough to deal with any inquiries with the Home Office. Of course, if the Home Office doesn't visit your place, then
Yeah.
through online you can help him through like email correspondence or anything. You can help him. That's not a problem. But we are thinking about next 5 years. How can I give you any guarantee that within these 5 years Home Office will never come to your place? It's not guaranteed. Home
Yeah.
Office come in some point after 2 years, 3 years, or 1 year. So
Yeah.
we don't know. Sometimes they make a phone call and take some sort of interview over the phone. They speak to the authorizing officer. So he has to handle that. So you have to find a good person who can be part of the company.
Okay. And one other question, do we need to add, I'm running from my home because it's online business here. So I need to show it to rent some commercial place from now, or when I apply at that time, it will be okay, before 2-3 months.
Yes, at least before 2-3 months, or at least the 1 month before, if you got the premises, that should be fine. You can now, because you are not applying for a sponsor license at this moment, so if you are operating from your home, that's not an issue. But let's say you are applying for a sponsor license in December or January, then you should have the premises ready by November, something like that. So this is the thing. And also I would suggest all of you that if you want to go for it, you should start, I mean, doing it as soon as possible. Because let's say I was saying at the beginning of my presentation, when I was dealing with the 4 key documents, I was saying that nowadays only a letter from the bank is not sufficient. Home Office, if you submit the letter from the bank, Home Office asks for a statement. That means day by day, Home Office is being strict. Home Office will be more strict after 6 months. Home Office, in some point, this route can be closed after a year or two. Okay, so if you have planned to go for this sort of visa, you should do it now, because in future it can be tougher. Okay, Home Office can, I mean, let's say 1 year before it was very easy. Years before it was more easy or easier, but now slowly the things are getting tougher.
Rules are changing.
Everyone should think actively now. Otherwise, maybe after a year or so, although you have got visa for another 1 or 2 years, but you should, if you have money, if you are ready, you should go for it now. Okay.
Thank you.
And how much it will cost for the whole process after?
Total cost, as I said, the Home Office fee is 1,035. Then visa application fee, then immigration health surcharge. Then one thing is called immigration immigration skill charge. When you will be assigning the course, you need to pay for that. For our fee, and if you go for the mentorship as well, which will be very, very helpful, I also recommend that. For those things, Mr. Habib or Hassle-Free Education will be advising you, will be dealing with that part.
Okay. So thank you for asking these questions, and I am getting a lot of this questions, the same questions time and again. So the legal fee cost, the service from Walden Solicitor is £3,000, but you can pay it in 2 installments. So for example, paying £1,500, you can start working. So basically, to start with, you need £1,036 plus solicitor fee to start with. And let's say in 3 months, once everything is ready, or probably in 1 month everything is ready, you're gonna apply for a sponsorship license. So yeah, and once you get the cost, then you need application fee, I think is £1,420 plus 1,035 NSSP per year. So by this 3 month, you can arrange everything and you can start with. So don't do the calculation right now and get overwhelmed. Just think about this. I can start with £2,500, paying £1,500 solicitor fee plus £1,000 36 sponsorship license fee. You can start. So I have given the link in the chat box. So all you need to click the link and just fill out the form, and our team will contact you, and they're gonna book an appointment with Mr. Selim so that he can help you and support you through the process. Okay. So we're gonna take question from Sadia Akhtar. Sadia, can you please unmute yourself and ask your question? So if you've got any questions, please raise your hand electronically and we're gonna unmute yourself. We're gonna take a few more questions, then we're gonna wrap it up. Thank you. Thank you for staying with us. Okay. I'm not sure. So my team, can you please unmute Sadia? Okay. So Sadia, you can unmute yourself, please.
Hi.
Hello.
Actually, I have many questions. I was a student here, and I have a baby and husband. So if I go this, I choose this route, so my dependent can stay with me, or they will not allowed to stay.
Very
And
good question.
yeah, you can finish.
Yes, they can be part of your dependent. But are you still in student visa?
No. Now I am in PSW.
Yes, they can. They can be your dependents in skilled worker category or self-sponsorship visa category.
Okay. Or if we face any losses in the business, so what will be the consequences?
If you cannot run the business, then of course there is a big hassle. Then the consequences is if the business cannot pay you salary, then actually the license, the home office, if home office knows that the license is revoked, and at the end, even if the home office doesn't know about it, at the end when you make the indefinite leave to remain or settlement application, that time home office may cross check with HMRC and can find out that the salary is not being paid to you, then of course the settlement application can be refused. For that, actually, I just add one thing. For you, if you have any doubt or anything, that mentorship program mentioned by Mr. Habib can be very helpful. And there is no harm if you want to know more about it. I mean, you can book that workshop, which is happening in this weekend, I believe.
Yes, 28th.
Okay, but that day I have scheduled work.
All right. Okay.
Okay. Is there any if I want, can I take any partner, like any friend?
You can, yes.
He or she can apply with his family also. Like if I got the sponsorship and I can stay with my family, and she also can do it or not?
Depending on the the revenue earning of the business, depending on the the growth of the business. If you can provide that the business needs 2 people, I mean, let's say we are submitting the bank statement to the Home Office. Home Office always check the bank statement in order to know more about the company, in order to know about the financial strength of the company. If they find that yes, this company is earning a good amount of revenue, then this company can sponsor two people. So two people can be the directors, and two people, I mean, obviously, as I said, that at the beginning, probably they will give you only one course. However, with the application, we can ask for two courses. If they give only one, we can later ask them to give us another course. After using the first one, immediately after that, we can ask the Home Office to provide another course for other director. So from two of you, you need to find out that who got less time in the visa. Okay, he or she can be sponsored first, then the other person who can get the course for that person. Just remember that to get a course, another course, it can take another 2 months time. So that person should have some time, some visa, like about 6 months visa or more longer visa. Then it is
Okay.
perfect.
Yeah, okay, I understand. One more question is there any requirement to invest? Like I have to invest that amount?
No, there is no such requirement, but as I said, that depending on your business, what sort of business you will be doing, and you need to show the Home Office that this is the business you have started and doing it actively, genuinely. So for that purpose, there should be, let's say you said you got yourself and two dependents. So if you
Yeah.
count their visa fees, immigration health searches, all this money, why don't you put this money in the company's account? From your personal account, you transfer. I mean, let's say the money is in your husband. Some of the money is in your husband's account. Some of the money is in your account. All the money you bring in your personal account. When you open the business account, you give this money to the business as an investment. Okay. So
Okay.
at some point, even you can pay the Home Office fee from the company's account. The company can pay its directors Home Office fee, it directors family members Home Office fee, and immigration health surcharge. It is entirely, it is perfect. I mean, it is entirely acceptable. Okay, so I would suggest that whatever money you have got, just keep £1,000 in your personal account and put all the money in the business account. So the Home Office knows that yes, these people got quite good amount of money. And if you're talking about two people's matter, two families matter, then all of your money you put here. So it will be like, it could be a big amount, 10 to 20,000 pounds. So it will look better. Always it will look better. The Home Office will feel comfortable to grant the sponsor license for the company.
Okay. And can I start with like a food cart?
Yeah, you can. This is called, mobile takeaway business. So if there is a option for that, we have dealt with this. So you can do it, no problem.
Okay. Yeah, I understood everything now. Thank
Sadiq,
you.
have you booked an appointment with Barrister Salim? So the link is given in the chat box. Just all you need to do is you need to click and fill out the form, give you details.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't book any appointment yet, but I'll do definitely.
Yeah, so the link is in given in the chat box. Just
Yeah. Thank you.
okay, thank you. So next question I'm gonna take, and before this, just I'd like to share with you, is does Barrister Salim deserve a thank you from you? So I know that if you'd like to book an appointment with a barrister or solicitor, probably you have to wait for a week. You have to pay at least 50 to £100, and then you're gonna go there spending your money and you have a consultation. So can you please type in the chat box, thank you, Barrister Salim. Everybody, type in the chat box, thank you, Barrister Salim, because he's answering you at your home and you are asking the question from you. So next question I'm gonna take from my team. Have you unmuted anybody else? So don't be major, right? Give a thanks to Barrister Salim. He is asking all your questions till now.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Mohammed, please ask your questions.
Okay.
Hello,
Hi, we can hear you.
can you hear me?
Yes, please make it short.
Okay, no worries. So actually, I just two queries. or one is about, I think somebody was also talking about the establishing a security company. If in security company, I think you are already telling that for the security company to get the sponsorship license, we need the approval contractor from the company should be the approved contractor from the SIAs, right?
Yes. The home office will eventually ask that.
So, all right. So my second question is, I am by profession, I'm a chartered accountant. If I establish my accountancy firm here, so the requirement for the there is no definitive requirement that the business should be earned like this money. I'm just asking, accountancy firm is like a service company, and it should be the like same kind of the revenue. It should be like the other business.
No, I mean, okay, there are two aspects in your question. I will deal with the specific question you asked, but there are some additional thing I have to add in this answer. First of all, in my experience, I'm not a proper businessman. I'm a service provider. I'm a lawyer. But I have seen that the business could be two types. One is trading business. I mean, buying a product, then selling. And other one is providing a service like we do. We provide a service. We don't have a proper in-house product. We provide our services to our clients, like accountants do, solicitors do, other profession like website designers, they do, many other people, they provide their services. But providing other types of businesses that like providing product, like a shop, they buy a product with the money of £100 and sell it to the clients, to its customers, like for 130. So they make profit of £30. There's a big investment is there. But when it's a service-based business, they are providing their own service only. There is no much big investment there. So for you, the same concept, that you don't have to have big amount of investment, but the revenue generation, as I said, if you were an accountant, you understood that we are saying that the company will be able to pay your salary. Your salary can be minimum 31,000, or even it could be 38,700, depending on many other factors. I'm not discussing those at this moment. But if it's like for this amount of money per year, then the company has to earn this money. The company has other expenses as well. So you need to provide, by providing the bank statement, you need to demonstrate that the company is on course of earning this sort of money. Okay, so this is the thing. And again, as I said, I have to add something in my answer. For accountants, you have to have a permission from a regulatory body. It can be from ACCA, ACA, CIMA, or something like that. Home Office will definitely ask for that. If you can get that, the accreditation or registration from a relevant regulatory body, then of course, accountancy firm can get a license. The firm can be established, and the firm can do other, the documents they have to provide. Then they can get the license.
So it is the mandatory requirement to get the accreditation from the relevant bodies.
Yes, it is a mandatory document. Let's say,
Like I am ACCA qualified. If I open a firm, I need to be get accredited from the ACCA
one is your own accreditation, other one is the firm's accreditation. The firm has,
I got it. Because there are many short business, short accountants, like they don't have the specific no ACA, no ACCA, but they open their firm. So in that case, they can't be the sponsorship.
They can't get the sponsor license. No, they can't get a sponsor license. They have to have if in order to run the business lawfully in the UK, if that company needs to get any authorization or accreditation or registration from a regulatory body, then that is a mandatory document. Let's say someone is not a solicitor, someone is not a lawyer, there is nothing, but he has created a company, namely Solicitor's Firm, and they applied for the sponsor license. Will they get the license? No, because that company does not have authorization from SRA, our regulatory body, Solicitors Regulation Authority. Similarly, for the accountants, I'm not a doctor, but if let's say I register a company name is a GP, okay, a company, and I apply for a sponsor license, but I'm not a doctor. I don't have, the company does not have license to run a GP. Can the company get the sponsor license? No. When there is a regular, even let's say a restaurant, they don't have food business license from local council, then the Home Office will not give the sponsor license. I mean, when we make I have dealt with so many sponsor license applications for the restaurants. Every time, this is a requirement we always provide it at the first stage. But if at the very beginning, I remember some years before, I did not provide a food license certificate from the local authority, from the council. Home Office asked us to provide that. So we got it from the local council, then we provided, then the license was granted. So regulatory, if there is a regulatory requirement in order to run the business, that particular business, then you have to submit that.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir. I got his answer. No worries.
Thank you.
So I got a question from chat box. Muhammad Ali, he asked, can I bring my wife and children on this visa? So I think you missed it. Mr. Salim, if you please answer it again.
I mean, the wife, you want, I mean, what I am understanding now, that he wants his wife to come from abroad with the self-sponsorship visa.
He's on PSW, and if he switches to self-sponsorship visa, can he bring
Yes,
his
answer is yes. Anyone can bring the dependents if the dependents are outside the UK. After going to this, you know that when someone is in PSW, they cannot bring the dependents from outside the UK, and all they cannot have dependents at PSW, new dependents. If the dependents were already not with the student visa, they cannot have them in PSW. But here in skilled worker category or self-sponsorship visa category, they can have the dependents. After going to this visa, you can bring the dependents from back home. Let's say someone is young man, very young man, handsome guy. He got this visa and he goes back to his country and married to a good person, a lady. Yes, they can bring the dependent then.
Okay, I'm really curious to know how many of you are here single and you're on PSW. So you want to switch this visa to self-sponsorship, and once you get the visa, you'd like to bring your wife here. And of course, you're gonna get married and you're gonna bring your wife here. So type in the chat box me. I'd like to see how many of you are in this category. Okay, so next question we're gonna take from Nafia Ira. So please unmute yourself and ask your question. So Nafia, do you have questions? I see you raised your hand. You need to unmute yourself. Okay. So we are going to next question. iPhone, I'm not sure what's your name. Please, can you please just introduce yourself and ask your question?
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah. Also, just I want to know how much we need to invest first.
So what was the question? Did not hear it properly.
Yeah, how much we need to invest firstly if somebody is just left 8 months on the sector.
Are you saying how much? Are you asking how much investment would be needed?
Yeah.
I have answered this for 3-4 times. It depends on the business you will be doing. If it's like service-based business, then maybe very less investment. If it's like a coffee shop or what is it called, off-license business, it can be very big amount of money, depending on your choice that what sort of business you will be doing. I'm not sure whether you were there, that I was thinking about someone who is a graphic designer, my direct client. He did not have big investment. The investment could be only £2,000-3,000, and the visa application fee, all those things. But business investment in terms of pure investment to the business was very less. Someone got a cleaning company. He is also one of my satisfied clients. He did not have much investment. He was based in Oxford, not a big amount for the office because it's not London-based office, and for very low amount of investment, could be £2,000-3,000 only. But I got one client from India, two clients. They're together. They're establishing an off license, and they're going to pay quite a lot of money. I got one client based in Wales. They are establishing a restaurant. He's actually buying a restaurant basically. So he's spending quite a lot of money. So depending on your business, what sort of business you will be doing, you have the invest. You have to have that.
Thank you. So how many of you know that Barrister Salim was my solicitor, and 10, 12 years ago, he advised me to start business consultancy. And I started with £150 renting an office. I got a old laptop and had a phone, and I started my business. So it might be less than £1,000, it might be 100 grand, it might be a million. So it depends on you. So always we recommend you, once you start your business, you start with very little investment, because as I told you, if you don't have these three skills, sales, advertisement, and management skills, so your chances to be failed 90% in 5 years time. So once you get a skill like sales, advertisement, and management, so you can invest more and you can take more risk, right?
And one point was more mentioned in the three key points. So do we need for a company opening any indefinite person?
Sorry, what was the question? I was struggling to understand.
Do we need any indefinite person, IL person, for opening the company? Or
You need at the beginning, at the time of opening, registering the company, it can be only yourself, or if you can have the authorizing officer who will be another director of the company from the beginning, that is also fine. But before you make the sponsor license application, you must have a British citizen or settled person in your company. And my strong recommendation has been that you make him one of the directors of the company. As I said before, that it can be on with the 0% share, or if you want to give him any share, if you want to do a joint business with him, if he's a proper partner, then according to your partnership, you can give him a share, whatever share you decide or you agreed with him. So you should have 1% either now or at least some about a month before you make the sponsor license application.
Thank you. Thank you. So next question from Nafia. I'm so sorry, basically.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. This is actually from my wife's tablet, so I'm using it. That's why. First of all, I would like to thank Mr. Salim about this advice, because it's a great opportunity to get it free. You know, that's fine. And my question is about the authorizing officer. So about the authorizing officer, can he do a full-time job in any other place and also be a authorizing officer in my company as a director or whatever? Can he do full-time job in any other place?
Yes, he can. There is no such bar or such restriction that he cannot do anything else. He can do whatever he wants to do. He will do. He will be doing his full-time business or more than even one business, 5 businesses, no problem. He's the person. He's the person. He is giving you time 1 hour a week. That is also fine. He is the authorizing officer. He just maintain the license. That's it. He's not doing any particular other jobs in your company. So he can have a full-time other job or business to do, no problem.
Okay, yeah. And my second question was about the HMRC pay. That you said earlier that it took 6 months, 5 to 6 months. Then I think for this sponsorship license process, if I start a business from like in next week, then it will be at least 8 to 10 months to get the final sponsorship, is it?
No, sir. I think there was you have misheard. I'm sorry. I said 6 to 8 weeks.
8 weeks. Okay, yeah. Sorry, I misunderstood.
6 to 8 weeks is
Okay.
maximum. It can
Yeah,
be
yeah, yeah.
5 to 6 weeks, but
Okay, okay,
something between 6 to 8 weeks, not more than that.
okay. Yeah, yeah. Thanks, thanks. And I got my answer. Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you very much, sir.
Sorry, gentlemen, what's your name?
Yeah, my name is Mujahidul Islam. I have registered with the another one that is with the £10 in 28th of September with this one. So yeah, I've registered over that.
So the link is working, right?
Yeah, the link is working. Yeah, perfect. Everything perfect. And
So-
hopefully I will be with you and Mr. Salim as well.
Thank you for confirming. So we have got one person raising hand. So we're gonna, of course, take your question. So before that, just I'd like to ask you. So have you tried to book an appointment with Barrister Salim or me? And the link is working or not? Please type in the chat box. Yes. I'd like to say how many of you booked an appointment and also booked for 28th October whole day workshop in person and online as well. So type in the chat box is working. I'd like to see. Okay, Tanvir Mahmood, please fire away your question.
Good evening. The question is, can the business in the first year can run in loss, because in the first year the business can be in the loss. So this is what it is. And the second thing is, if I'm expert in the garments and textile things, so if I take LC from some UK company and transfer the LC to the sourcing origin like India, Bangladesh, Pakistan, so that means I don't need any investment to buy or selling things. It is bank related things will be managed by LC. So in that case, do I need more amount to invest? Thank you.
First question's answer is first question you said what was the first question? I'm sorry, it was very long day for me.
Yeah, if it is loss in fast.
No problem at all. No problem at all, because there is no such requirement in the Home Office that the company has to be in profit. Otherwise, it is not acceptable or the license will be revoked. No problem. If you can run the company with even loss and you get the salary, all those things are happening properly, then it's okay. As long as the company is doing the trading, it's not that company is doing nothing, but you are only paying your salary through the company's bank account, then it will be a problem. You have to be in the trading, and then obviously first year it is you will be more investment but less profit. I know the first year many businesses go for profit after 5 years, after 3 years. That's called break-even point. So it can take time. So first year's loss will not be a problem for any business in relation to the license, holding the license of the business, sponsor license. And second question you asked, that if it's the way of the business, if it's the nature of the business, no problem, you can do that way. So it will be very less investment, I understand. Like you got the office, you got like some sort of website, you got some, maybe computer, 1 or 2 computers. So this is very minimum nominal investment. And you said that from one company, LC will be passed through the other company based in somewhere in Asia, and you will be the middleman or something. Absolutely fine. This is a genuine business, legitimate business. And the LC, obviously, it is a letter of credit provided by the bank. So no big investment would be required from your company. So if it's the nature of the business, that's how the company can run the business, then it is absolutely fine. And it is accepted, it is acceptable. There'll be no problem at all. Okay,
And
this is Tanvir Mahmood.
thank you. In relation to this, one more questions. So when I receive the LC and transfer this LC, and in the middle I get the commission. So do I need to pay the VAT?
You need to pay back means?
VAT.
Oh, the VAT one is that if the company's turnover is over 90,000, let's say you are getting the revenue or the commission you are talking about. If you get commission, big amount of commission, and the commission is more than 90,000, whole year, then company has to register with VAT and you have to pay VAT on it.
Sorry to cut you. I get this about the commission, but I'm talking about the business. For example, I get the 500,000 pound LC, and I transferred the 490,000 LC to, for example, Bangladesh, and I get the commission 10,000. So this is how if the business.
Okay, I got the question. Okay, one thing is, the money is going through your bank account. First, you are getting that 500,000 in your company's bank account. Then you are paying 490,000 to the seller or to the buying house based in Bangladesh. Is this correct?
Yes.
So the money is actually coming to your account first, then you have to have the VAT registration certificate, because it looks like that even one shipment will cost more than the required amount of 90,000. So yes, the company has to have VAT registration, because it's called turnover. It's not the profit you are making. It's not the 10,000. It's the whole 500,000. So 500,000, obviously, it is a lot over the threshold of 90,000. Then the company would be required to have the VAT registration.
Okay.
But this I would also suggest that Hassle-Free Education has collaborated with an accountant firm, and this question is more appropriate to the accountants, foreign accountants. Even within this today's session, we got a chartered accountant, Mr. Mohammed or someone.
Worship Rahman, yeah. So if you haven't booked the whole day workshop on 28th, so if you are living outside of London, still you can join. It's live on Zoom. And so if you can come in person, we have got a few seats left. I'm not sure how many left, probably 3 or 4. So if it is filled up, we can't accommodate you because we have got only 20 seats. That's the thing. And lastly, so the link is in the chat box. I know Mr. Salim is so busy. So even though he's giving us a few slots to consult you, please make your application so that we can contact you and we can put it into slot. So we're gonna get you the last ever questions, and still if you've got questions, we are so sorry. We will ask you to fill out the application form and come for the consultation. Of course, you're gonna do. So the few things, Jasha, I'd like to recap. So if you'd like to go for self-sponsorship visa, you can bring your wife, you can bring your kids, and you can work 20 hours outside of your company. Of course, there are some certain rules and regulation. So if you know you can work outside of your company 20 hours, please type in the chat box 20 hours. And if you don't know, please type in the chat box don't know. Just I'd like to make sure you know this information. And final thing I'd like to add is, if you're single and if you're on PSW, if I were you, probably I would go through this visa. I'll go back to my home country, I would get married, and then I would come back, and I would, of course, get the support from my spouse or wife or husband, then, and of course, financially. And exactly, this is how I build my business. I do acknowledge that if my wife was not here and she wouldn't work full time and help me, support me financially, I wouldn't be here today. So I would recommend you think about this, how you can go through this process and still you can retain the self-sponsorship workshop. And just imagine one thing is, so you are investing 5 years in your time on this. So why don't you do the business genuinely? And at the end of the 5 years, you build something very big, your dream business. Okay, last ever question is from engineer JRG. I'm not sure. So please unmute yourself. This is the last question. I'm so sorry, Mr. Salim.
No problem.
Hello, Assalamualaikum, everyone. Actually, my question is, I just recently applied for PSW. Can you hear me properly?
Yes.
Sorry. All right. So I have applied for PSW, and I'm the student, and still I am waiting for my decision, my graduate visa. And I have my wife and my daughter are my dependent. So what I'm from Bangladesh. I have a business in Bangladesh, like e-commerce business. Basically the type of, like, I'm importing products from the various countries, especially garments sector and some tech products. So I'm selling them into Bangladeshi retail markets. So what I'm trying to do here is like I'm also trying to do same thing here from China or from Bangladesh. I will bring products here and I will sell into the market. So my question is now, I'm now the main applicant. If I register my business under my wife, can I go for dependent? Me and my daughter will under her visa, so that we can stay and we can run the business.
Now, the question you are asking that let's assume you get the PSW and your wife and child or children get dependent visa. And you are saying that
Yeah.
the company or the business will be under your wife's name and you will get the skilled worker self-sponsorship visa, right?
Yeah, so I will be her under, her dependent under
It
her
will be
visa.
vice versa. I mean, now you are the main applicant, but that time he will be the dependent and she will be the main applicant, right?
Yeah.
That's what you're saying. It's possible, no problem at all, but provided she needs to pass the English language test level B1. Because
All
for
right.
you, you got British degree and obviously you were granted a student visa. So no problem. I mean, for you, there is no English language requirement because you already meet the requirements. But
Okay.
wife, she has to pass the English language level B1. That's the only extra requirements for her. Apart from that, everything else is same. You remember that at the beginning of my presentation, I was saying that who are eligible to switch this category. Obviously, graduate route holders, then also most of the dependents, I said, then skilled worker visa holders and spouse visa holders. So she is eligible to switch to this visa, provided she meets all the requirements. Her extra requirements will be English language requirements. Okay. And then
all right.
that be her dependents.
Okay, I got that questions. And related to these questions, okay, for example, if I could be like I'm the main applicant, for example, in the sponsorship visa, and so that means he will be my dependent. So what type of, like, if I register my company under e-commerce, so what type of work she can do? Like, is it for her, she can do any type of work, or like the company I'm registering, she can work those type of work?
No, I mean, the dependents are allowed to do any lawful work and full time.
All right. Okay.
I mean, all dependents, most of the dependents, I mean, some students' dependents got some restrictions, but now, let's say all dependents, dependents are allowed to work full time. Okay, and any job, there is no restrictions at all, any lawful job. Okay, I think that answers your questions.
Yeah, I got that. I got it. And anyway, I'm joining the whole day session on the few days.
Thank you.
Few days. I'll get more info, I hope. Thank you so much for your time.
No problem. Thank you.
Mr. Salim, I'm so sorry. Though I said that's the last question, I think the last person is there. I don't like to disappoint. Can I take the question?
Yeah, sure.
So Anis, can you please unmute yourself? The last question. Sorry, please don't raise and don't just make the application. You will get the opportunity to talk. Okay, yeah, please ask your question.
Thank you so much. Thank you also so much for this informative session. I actually would like to ask, while does that authorizing officer will be affected by any kind of income tax or not?
So any kind of what?
Income tax. They need to be.
If that person, yes, if that person is getting any salary, then of course some taxes would be there. That person can do work for you as a volunteer. I mean, that person can be like take no salary at all. Okay, that person got 0% share. Even the company, if the company makes a profit of £1 million, he will not be able to take any profit at all because that person got 0% share. I mean, profit will not be shared to him. Yeah, so that's I mean, no profit is shared to him, so no taxes will be for him. So that's all. If
Oh,
you want to give him share, if he's your partner, company is making a profit, company is earning money, and then he will be eligible to get the dividend or share of the profit, then he has to pay the taxes. If it's
okay.
like, let's say you know someone, your father's friend in the UK, and he's a British citizen, he got his own business again. He said that I don't want to pay any extra tax or anything. No problem. You don't give him any share. And use his name, and he should be knowledgeable about the business, what's going on. The company should maintain the paperwork properly, like paying the taxes and all the things. Because if it's for only 1 or 2 persons in the company, then it's not a very difficult job to maintain. So just run that way the business. That's fine, no problem. So that person is not earning any money, so that person is not paying any income tax.
Oh, thank you so much, Barrister Salim. And my next question is for Ehsan Habib. So the question is actually, I do not have any concrete business idea that I could start with minimum investment. So will that also be guided in mentorship program if I join?
Yes, of course. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna sit together. And always in our workshop, I ask the participants, so what's your business idea and what do you think is worth of? And they say 50,000, 100 million, millions, these sort of things. Basically, the business idea is worth of a penny until you execute it and you get the results. So we're gonna sit together and we're gonna work on your business idea as well. And business idea, I would say the business idea, if you have something, is gonna work once you get 3 skills: is sales, advertisement, and management skill. So if you have got 3 skills, each and every business idea, there are much more possibilities to work on it. And if you don't have these 3 skills, whatever the brilliant idea you have got, is really difficult to work on it. I think you got my answer. Okay.
Yeah.
So finally, thank you asking all the questions. So we have got so many applications. Thank you for making your application, and you're gonna get a call from our team to book on an appointment with Mr. Salim. And as I mentioned earlier, so the service charge legal pack is £3,000. So you can start with paying 50% in installment, first installment, and the second installment once you get the course, and you can make the visa application for yourself. This is how. And as I told earlier, it sounds rocket science, but it's not, because there are a lot of things still I don't know. I don't know what is CT600. Believe me, last time once I bought a property, my solicitor asked me, can you please provide me CT da 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 da? And what I did, I just pick up the phone, I call my accountant, I said, what is this? And he said, this is this. I said, can you please send me? I need to send to solicitor. And he started laughing. So you don't need to know a lot of things if you do business. All you need to do know is 3 skills: sales, advertisement, and management skills. And finally, I'd like to thank you so much for staying with us till long. And how many of you would like to get a book from us once it's published in next month? Type in the chat box book. So in this book, the skill worker visa, you're gonna get everything in written. And once you go through this book, you do the revision, because sometimes once you get a lot more information, the brain is getting tired to process all the information. So that's why it's better to have a book with you. Just type in the chat box book. How many of you are really interested to get a book? Mr. Salim, he has written a chapter. Accountant, he has written a chapter, and all about the business. So it's going to be published in next month in October, somewhere in last week. And of course, we're gonna inform you when it's published, and we're gonna give you a link to buy it from Amazon as well. So thank you so much for joining one more time. Mr. Salim, do you have anything to say before wrapping up? Anything?
I have best wishes for all of them, and I also, as you politely asked everyone to thank me, I politely also ask all of the participants to thank Mr. Habib as well to organize all these things. He is the mentor behind of this.
Okay, thank you, everyone. Thank you. Good night. We are looking forward to working with you. Thank you. Bye.